and this really includes section 6.6 and 6.7 just combined into one. Let's take a look at this equation. We're trying to solve the equation x to the third minus x squared minus 12x equals 0. And again, I'm not just factoring, I'm actually solving for x, finding all possible solutions to this equation. First thing I notice is that there's a common factor on the left-hand side. So let's pull out my common factor, which is x, and then if there's still more to be factored, we'll factor from there. So I'm going to pull out my x. X to the third divided by x is x squared divided by x is x, and negative 12x divided by x is negative 12. So now I have to factor the x squared minus x minus 12, which is pretty easy. Factors of negative 12 that differ by 1, I'm thinking 4 and 3, with the 4 being the bigger one, because I noticed that there's a negative before the x. So the negative has to be bigger. Foil it back and see if it works. You get x squared plus 3x minus 4x is negative x. Negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. So set each of these terms equal to 0. X equals 0. X minus 4 is 0. X plus 3 is 0. Right away, there's one of my answers. Add a 4 to both sides. There's my second answer. Subtract a 3 from both sides. There's my third answer. You can go back to each one of these and put them back in and see that they work. Obviously, 0 works. Put a 4 in. 4 to the third is 64. Minus 4 squared is 16. Minus 12 times 4 is 48. And that equals 0. And if you put in the 3, you'll get something that works as well. All right, this is a similar idea. This one, though, has a common factor of 5 and y. So pull out a 5 and a y, and I'm left with a y squared minus 7y plus 10. Once you do that, the second piece is easy to factor. Factors of 10 that add up to 7 with the same sign, both negative. And it works. So you get three possibilities. Either 5y equals 0, y minus 2 equals 0, or y minus 5 equals 0. Because if we're multiplying things and getting 0, then at least one of those terms has to be 0. So here we get y equals 0. Here we add a 2 to both sides, so we get y equals 2. Here we add a 5 to both sides and get y equals 5. And again, don't divide step 1 by y. Because if you divide by y in the first step, you're going to lose one of your roots. Specifically, that y equals 0. All right, how about this one? It says, find the value of x if the outside surface area is 84 square inches. So what this is a box without a lid on it. And if you started with the piece of paper that's on this side over here, and you cut out the corners and folded up these corners, the corner on the side would meet the top piece would meet the side piece would meet the other side piece, and so forth. So what's inside the dotted lines is the bottom of your box, right? That piece that's in here. And then you've got 4 sides, but you've got no top. Well, if the big piece of paper over here is 10, then the side over here is 10 minus 2x. Now, they're telling us then that this bottom piece must also be 10 from this end all the way to that end over there. Because you notice that they've also said take 10, remove this x and that x. This piece over here is 10 minus 2x. It says the outside surface area is 84 square inches. So what goes into creating this box? We've got 4 sides and we've got a base. So the base of our box is 10 minus 2x on one side, 10 minus 2x on the other side. This is the front of the box. The front of the box and the back of the box are actually the same. So this has 10 minus 2x on one side, x on the other. So the front and back are x times 10 minus 2x. But there's 2 of them. So it's multiplied by 2, right? One for the front, one for the back. Let's look at the left side and the right side. This is the right side over here. It's 10 minus 2x going across, right? There's 10 minus 2x by x. and there's 2 of them. Well, wait a minute. That's the same thing 4 times. So rather than 2x and 2x, how about we just call this 4 times x times 10 minus 2x. All right, and the rest of that is just the algebra of adding everything together. So the base is 10 minus 2x times 10 minus 2x. Let's see if I can fit my response in the bottom corner over there. So 10 minus 2x times 10 minus 2x is 100. Minus 20 is minus 40, plus 4x squared. Okay, now let's add up the front, back, left, and right. 4 times x times 10. 40x. 4 times x times negative 2x minus 8x squared. Organize this a little bit. So I get a minus 8x squared plus 4x squared. Negative 8 plus 4 is negative 4. So I get negative 4x squared. That takes care of 4x squared minus 8x squared. Notice the x's go away. Plus 100. We said that that surface area is equal to 84. So let's subtract an 84 from both sides. And I get negative 4x squared. 100 minus 84 is 16 equals 0. I can actually factor a negative 4 out of everything right now. So if I factor out a negative 4, I'm left with x squared, and then 16 divided by negative 4 is minus 4. All right, so the negative 4 gives me nothing, right? Negative 4 will never be 0. So I'm left with x squared minus 4 equals 0. This actually factors as x minus 2x plus 2, which, when I get done, will give me solutions of x equals 2 and x equals negative 2. But you notice what x is. X is the height of that box. So x equals negative 2 wouldn't make sense. I'm not going to have a box with a height of negative 2. So instead, the only possible answer that makes sense is x equals positive 2. Now, if I'm a little wary after getting to the end of this problem and going, did I get the right answer? Let's throw some numbers in. 10 minus 2x. Well, what if x is 2? Then I get 10 minus 2 times 2, which is 4. 10 minus 4 is 6. So if that's 6, that's 6. And then the height of my box is 2. So the front side is 6 times 2, which is 12. The back is 12, the left is 12, the right is 12. 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12 is 48. What's the bottom? The bottom is 6 times 6, which is 36. Add them together. Sure enough, I get 84. All right, so after all that work, it's always worth the extra. How long did that take me? 15, 20 seconds to go back and check and see if my answer makes sense. It does, and we're done.